Hi guys, it's me again. It's Michael. I just want to say thank you for all the people that has left comment in my blog and left questions like I've asked. I wouldn't even start this blog in the first place if any of you don't even leave any questions or comments at all. So I want to thank you about that. And I know a lot of you guys are requesting to have for me to start recording this at school. Um, I want to. The only problem is I can't find a USB cable on this camera because this one can record video clips, and I can just upload it. I just can't find a USB cable. Or I could do this. I could probably bring my laptop and start recording in the library, or maybe walk around the hall with a laptop, but that would look awkward. So I'm going to try to see if I can find a USB cable for this one, but if not, then I'll find other options to do so. Another thing is there's one particular question that's commonly being asked about the school, and this pertains to the tuition. And some of you guys ask, um, whoever left this comment, is it worth it spending that much amount of money towards the tuition at FIDM? My beliefs in that is yes, it is worth it to spend that much money for the school, because if you actually compare to other colleges that has really good background or references, that's actually the most cheapest one in compared to the one in New York. So this is the cheapest one, and it has really good client base. Another thing is, it just saddens me when people talk crap about the school. I mean, former students that have gone to that school for about a year or so and say it's a bad thing, it's a bad school, it's expensive, blah 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 blah. Yeah, it's true, it is expensive, but saying that everything that's being taught in that school somehow they've known already, beforehand, and they just felt like they were kind of cheated out. To me, honestly, I wouldn't even feel like. Honestly, I would probably say that's a lie, because honestly, my beliefs in that is if you really knew already how to approach your career as a fashion designer, you wouldn't even consider going to that school in the first place and spending that much amount of tuition to train yourself as a better to train yourself on your field. You would have been focusing on creating your business plan and tackling the next task is creating your business and approaching your career as a fashion designer. You wouldn't even think twice of considering looking at any other fashion institute in the first place. So to me, it's just like it's sad, and a lot of them saying that they already knew these stuff, and I'm like, I'm telling you, the stuff that they're being taught in school is not something that you normally just know in hand. That school specialized in that specific field, and those things that they knew it during the time that they're in school. Otherwise, they wouldn't knew it in the first place. During the time they probably been there for like 6 months, 4 months, or a year. So, and it is hard work, and anything, like reality, some I'm gonna put this out there. This is not a glamorous school. The exterior is glamorous, but the perspective of the school is very tough. If you cannot manage yourself and say, hey, I'm wanting to go through this process of like a boot camp fashion designer kind of fashion field of training, then it's not worth it going to that school. But if you say, hey, I have this talent, I have this thing, I want to make sure that I do this correctly for the sake of my career. So, because like I said, time is money. You cannot afford to stumble in this field, because it's not an option. That's it. You have to do it. And in order for you to make sure, you have to be confident enough to know your stuff, or your materials, or your specific skills that you need to be in your field, such as fashion design. And if you're not, then yes, it is good for you to go to this school. Because if you're looking at it more like, oh my gosh, it's so expensive, yes, it is expensive. You know, everything is expensive. But if you look at it more like, hey, am I worth 24,000 investing for my invest, am I worth 24,000 to invest towards my future as a fashion designer? Then you can go ahead and go to that school, because the idea of going to that school is to learn things about your field, learn things proper way to be successful. I'm not saying there's no good and bad. I mean, I'm not saying everything about that school is good. There is bad things about the school. One of the bad things about the school is you have to be self-reliant to yourself. And if people are not adjusted to be independent on their own, you're not gonna survive in there. But like I said, if you're willing to step up and say, okay, this is what I want to do for the rest of my life, and I'm willing to take every task and struggle that comes along with the school, then in the end of the day, you will realize that it's all worth it. And yeah, maybe it's not important to have the diploma because the AA degree is not really worth it. But the idea of going to that school is not to get the diploma. So the idea is to get your skills corrected, your talent to be trained, your things to be properly presented to the fashion industry. Because like I said, and this industry is a cutthroat industry. And if you don't know your stuff 110%, it's not even 110%, you're not gonna survive. You're gonna be considered in this field as a joke. In specific, like I said, because it is a small community, and there's other people that they will be hiring that knows their stuff. Unless you know that, unless you knew that, and you were born with a business plan about fashion designing, and you're naturally born to be talented, like you can sketch really well and sew really, really well, and you know everything about it, then yeah, you don't need to go to the school. But if you're a type of person that you have the talent, you have the raw talent, and it needs to be refined, you do need to go to school. And I'm not saying just go to FIDM, I'm just saying you need to go to school in general to get it corrected and to get it refined. And that's my intention of going to this school, because I want to make sure that at the end of the day that I am doing my stuff correctly. And for the people that had said that this school is not worth it and it's too expensive, you might want to be honest of telling the audience what is your particular reason why you didn't want to continue in finishing that school. Because if you're just gonna say, hey, it's not worth it because it's like complicated and everything like that, and other frivolous reasons, you might want to tell the other half, because like I said, you're only letting them know things that the school is not doing right. You might want to tell them what you're not doing right at school, because I do my homework every day completely, and it's a struggle, but I want to be successful in what I do. And if you can't put yourself a mindset and say, okay, I want to be successful in school because I'm doing this for my future, then like I said, this school is not for you, or any other school in general. Because like I said, if you're not independent, you can't convince yourself that you're worth that much amount of money to invest yourself for, then maybe it's not for you. But like I said, for people who believes that this is what they want to do, because you know what the pros and cons of going to this school or getting in this field, and you're willing to take that chance, then then go for it. Run with it. Don't even look back and just go for it. Because like I said, in the end of the day, it's gonna be worth it for you, and you won't even think twice. You're probably gonna be laughing when you're probably being successful in this career. It's a struggle. It's almost like, if you're gonna be an actress, the struggle is almost as level as, if you're, beginner actress, you're D-list actress and you're working your way as A-list actress. It's almost the same concept. It's a struggle and it's hard, and if you're willing to put the work in, it will pay off. It's not the school that makes you famous. It's you that can get you out there to be a better person at your field. And if you can't convince that, and I'm